Welcome to Quiz a la carte. Are you a general knowledge champion? Let's find out. Up next is a challenging 25-question, multiple choice, all history quiz. Before starting, please subscribe to the Quiz a la carte channel for more exciting quizzes. Let's get started with the first question. Which was the first animal to ever orbit the Earth? Chimpanzee, dog, or mouse? The answer is B, dog. Laika the dog was launched aboard the Soviet Sputnik 2 in 1957. What was the original purpose of the Statue of Liberty's torch? Lighthouse, bell tower, or observation deck? The answer is A, lighthouse. For the first 16 years after its dedication, the torch served as a lighthouse. Which U.S. president was a world-class wrestler, losing only one match out of roughly 300? Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, or George Washington? The answer is A, Abraham Lincoln. He is even in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. In the 18th century, which fruit was so expensive in England that people rented them to show off at parties? Mango, mandarin orange, or pineapple? The answer is C, pineapple. At the time, pineapples were a symbol of extreme wealth and the ultimate status symbol. The Rosetta Stone was the key to deciphering which ancient language? Sumerian, Latin, or Egyptian hieroglyphic? The answer is C, Egyptian hieroglyphic. Discovered by French soldiers in 1799, it featured the same text in 3 different scripts. Which famous conqueror was once attacked by a massive swarm of rabbits? Napoleon Bonaparte, Julius Caesar, or Alexander the Great? The answer is A, Napoleon Bonaparte. A rabbit hunt organized for him went wrong when thousands of tame rabbits were used instead of wild ones. They all charged at him instead of running away. Who was the famous nurse known as the Lady with the Lamp? Clara Barton, Marie Curie, or Florence Nightingale? The answer is C, Florence Nightingale. Known as the founder of modern nursing, she earned her nickname as she carried a lamp to care for her Crimean War patients during the night. During World War II, which country's military used a ghost army of inflatable tanks to trick the Germans? The United States, Great Britain, or the Soviet Union? The answer is A, the United States. The U.S. Army's Deception Unit used inflatable decoys and sound effects to deceive German intelligence about Allied troop locations. The tulip mania of the 1630s, the first major economic bubble, happened in which country? England, the Netherlands, or France? The answer is B, the Netherlands. At the peak of the craze, a single tulip bulb could cost more than a house in Amsterdam. The Renaissance began in which European country? France, Italy, or Spain? The answer is B, Italy. It began in the 14th century in the city of Florence. What is the universal shipping container of the ancient world used all around the Mediterranean and Black Seas? Amphora, alabastron, or calyx? The answer is A, amphora. Made of terracotta, they were used to transport nearly every liquid and dry good essential to ancient life. The Cold War was a decades-long geopolitical rivalry between the U.S. and which other superpower? China, Germany, or the Soviet Union? The answer is C, the Soviet Union. It lasted for about 46 years. The Terracotta Army was built to protect which emperor in the afterlife? Kublai Khan, Qin Shi Huang, or Augustus? The answer is B, Qin Shi Huang. He was the first emperor of a unified China and the founder of the Qin dynasty. Halfway done. Keep going, you've got this. Which ancient wonder was located in the city of Babylon? The Colossus, the Hanging Gardens, or the Temple of Artemis? The answer is B, the Hanging Gardens. They are the only one of the 7 wonders whose actual location has never been established by archaeology. Which aviator was the first person to fly solo from Hawaii to California? Amelia Earhart, Harriet Quimby, or Amy Johnson? The answer is A, Amelia Earhart. While famous for her disappearance, she set many records, including this 1935 solo flight across the Pacific. Which ancient civilization is credited with inventing the first form of writing known as cuneiform? Egyptians, Sumerians, or Mayans? The answer is B, Sumerians. They developed it around 3200 BCE for keeping track of trade and temple records. What was the primary reason the Great Wall of China was built? To provide a walking path, to mark a border, or to defend against nomadic tribes? The answer is C, to defend against nomadic tribes. The wall was a sophisticated, integrated military system. In which city was the Roman Empire centered? Athens, Rome, or Constantinople? The answer is B, Rome. At its peak, the empire surrounded the entire Mediterranean Sea. Which famous inventor held a patent for a talking doll that used miniature phonographs? Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison, or Alexander Graham Bell? The answer is B, Thomas Edison. His talking dolls were a commercial failure because they sounded creepy to kids and the inner workings broke easily. The Magna Carta was signed by which English king? Henry VIII, Richard the Lionheart, or King John? The answer is C, King John. Signed in 1215, it was the first document to limit the king's power by law. Which U.S. state was once an independent republic for 10 years before joining the Union? Texas, California, or Florida? The answer is A, Texas. The Republic of Texas existed from 1836 until it was annexed by the United States in 1845. Which beverage was so popular in ancient Egypt that it was used as a form of currency for workers? Wine, tea, or beer? The answer is C, beer. Workers, including those who built the Giza pyramids, were often paid daily with nutrient-rich beer. Who was the longest reigning British monarch before Queen Elizabeth II? King George III, Queen Victoria, or Henry VIII? The answer is B, Queen Victoria. She reigned for a little over 63 and a half years. Which Roman emperor allegedly made his horse, Incitatus, a priest and planned to make him a consul? Nero, Augustus, or Caligula? The answer is C, Caligula. He was known for his eccentric and often erratic behavior, using his horse to insult the dignity of the Roman Senate. Final question. Which empire was ruled by Genghis Khan? Mongol, Ottoman, or Persian? The answer is A, Mongol. It became the largest contiguous land empire in world history. Thanks for taking the quiz. Share your score in the comments. See you for the next challenge.